Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how you can work with dynamic blocks. So dynamic blocks are something that showed up a long time ago, actually almost 10 years ago. It was released 2006. And what a dynamic block is it's something that, it's a block that has properties where it's not just kind of stuck as being, when you insert it, that's it, you can't really stretch it, you can't do anything with it. With a dynamic block, you can actually give it different kinds of properties. So you can have it rotate, like have an auto rotate built in, or an auto stretch, or I don't know, there's lots of different things that you can do with dynamic blocks. So AutoCAD has some dynamic blocks already out there for you. You've probably just watched the video on tool palettes, and so I'm going to open up the tool palettes. So I'll come in here to View, Tool Palettes. These are the ones that I just did, but if you scroll down, you can go to the architectural tool palette. And so this is the one that I'd like to show you because these are the ones that we're going to be using. So you can see they've got imperial samples and metric samples. So basically this tool palette just repeats itself. With metric, we're just going to be dealing with imperial, which is feet and inches. You know what block is dynamic when it's got this little bolt of lightning. Like the bolt of lightning makes it dynamic somehow. So we're going to just start inserting these, and we're just going to talk about all the different cool things that they can do. So I'm going to grab this block, drag it, just drop it in. When I click on it, look at all of these crazy grips I've got on here. So what's fun is these grips have automatically built in actions to them. So I'm going to click on this one. Look, do you want the door to open this way or that way? Or this way, or that way. So you can adjust the swing of the door, you can adjust which way it opens, just by clicking on these little guys right here. So you can also adjust the wall thickness. So look, it's a 6-inch wall, 5 inches, 4 inches. So you can adjust how thick your wall is. Up to the preset sizes. So it only gives you 4, 5, and 6 inches. We'll learn in our architectural project how to actually go in there and adjust it to get a 3.5-inch wall later this semester in Unit 5. This guy right here, though, check it out. You can adjust how big your door is. So is it a 3'4", 2'8", 2 foot? There's all different kind of preset sizes that you can choose from. It looks like you could type your own. So where it says 2 foot, it looks like I could type in 1 foot, but I can't. I'm stuck with only kind of jumping to those preset increments that it gives you. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what else. This guy right here, check it out. How open do you want your door? So 30 degrees, 45 degrees. Do you want it open all the way, 90 degrees? Do you want it closed? Totally up to you. So you'll find different architectural firms use different types of doors. Some are open at 45 or 30 or whatever. So you have that option in here. So basically in this one block, this one dynamic block, you've got so many blocks built into it. I had a student calculate it one time with, every one of these door openings times every one of the door widths times every one of the wall thicknesses times flip this way times flip that way, all the different options that you have. And there was I think it was over 100 doors built into this one block. So it's pretty sweet. If you remember in your 1405 class, you had to make blocks for each individual size door that you had. So we don't have to do that anymore. We've just got one block and we can insert it and just use it as needed. There's one more grip that I haven't really talked to you about, and it's this guy right here. I think he kind of looks like a house, but if you click on that grip, it aligns the block to an object. So I have some walls already drawn here. And let me turn off my ortho. So I've got these walls drawn, and so as I approach this wall, check it out, my block aligns itself to that wall. And one thing that I've noticed with this block is as you're approaching this way, the door opens out that way, or if you approach this way, the door opens this way. Not like it's a biggie. You can always use that flip to change it if you need to. But as I move it up, it aligns itself to this wall. This angle right here, I just drew it. I have no idea what angle that is, but check it out. If I just move, it automatically aligns itself to that wall. So that is a pretty cool little trick right there that you've got. So that's the dynamic door. He's the most exciting one of all of the dynamic blocks, I would say. Here's a dynamic window. Now that we've seen the door, this is not that impressive, right? It's just like, okay, well, okay, you can flip this way and that way. My door could do that. You can adjust the wall thickness, 4, 5, and 6 inches. Okay, big whoop. You can adjust the opening, the size of the window. So 4, 5, 6, that's nice. We saw that with a door. One thing that's frustrating, though, about the window, and I mean the door does it too, but it's especially frustrating for me with the window, is typically windows are exterior features, and exterior doors and windows, you dimension to the center of it. So if you were to put this window exactly where you want it, and then adjust the size, now it's completely off. It doesn't adjust it equally on both sides. That would be pretty cool. Like, you would impress me, Mr. Window, if you did that. But anyway, so you can get it about the size that you want it, and then go center your window. It does have the align command on it too, but we saw that with the door. It's pretty hard to impress me after that door. We've got this guy right here. He's a window, but he's an elevation window. So let's grab that, open it. We can make it as tall as I want it, up to 5 feet. I can make it as wide as I need it to be, up to 5 feet. And that's pretty much it, but you can adjust the size that you need for that window. So that's nice, I guess. Let's see, fluorescent lighting. He's kind of boring, but he does have something different that the other ones did not have, and it's this, like 2 foot by 4 foot. It's actually got kind of the cascading window menu that the other ones didn't have. So that's always an option. Properties table, it's just telling you kind of the properties that that block has to choose from. So that's pretty cool. I don't really use a lot of fluorescent lighting. This one's pretty neat though, a little stud. So you had this, if you've ever done architectural, this is a nice one to know about. So this is just your standard 2x4. Note that it actually does it at the actual size, not the nominal size. So it's 2x4, but it's actually 3.5 by 1.5. But check it out, if you've got multiple studs, like a lot of times you'll have two right next to each other, you can adjust how tall they are. So this is a 2x12, two 2x12s, and you can adjust it that way. You can also choose what it is, so 2x10, and then you can choose how many of them, so 4 2x10s. So that's pretty cool. It's probably the second coolest after the door that we've seen so far. That's the stud. This one's my favorite though. Check this out. The toilet, the potty, the commode. So you've got this guy right here. I brought him in. He's a fine looking toilet. This is an elevation view. If I click on him, he's got a little flip. So check it out. Flip this way, flip that way, and this way and that way. Which side do you want the flusher to be on? You guys are not in class I'm not in class to share with you that when my daughter was first learning how to potty train, she was used to the flusher being on this side at home, and the first time we were out somewhere, she saw a flusher on this side at Jason's Deli, and she freaked out because everything she knew about toilets was like totally, she just threw her for a loop. So anyway, I always think of my daughter with that one. You can move the flusher to the other side if you want it. All right, let's see. So there's the toilet, elongated front. We've got elongated plan. So here's the little potty from the plan view. Here's another thing that you can do is check this out. Here's rotate. So where do you need that potty? Got it? I can rotate it there. Or it's got this align one and I can align it. Elongated side. So here's my nice side view of that toilet. So another elevation view. It's just the elevation from the side. I've got round from the front. Looks the same. Round plan view. Oh, look how cute. He stayed rotated. But you can see he's got a little round seat here. And then round from the side. This is where it gets exciting. Look at this. Pull chain. Woohoo! That's so exciting. I love this little toilet. Just makes you want to redo your house and just put pull chains in every bathroom. Anyway, so there's the pull chain. Pull chain plan is kind of boring. He just looks like a round one. But pull chain from the side, pretty fabulous, right? Y'all are excited. I know you're excited at the pull chain toilets. All right, so that's the toilet. We've also got trees, and that is a big giant tree, isn't it? So you can always scale these blocks down if you need to. But we've got this tree, and I'm just going to take you through them. Some of these are pretty boring, but they really are what they're using for landscape architecture. So these are kind of standard symbols that they use for landscape architecture. So this is your palm from plan, palm from elevation, makes you want to pina colada. Shrub, This is really not that exciting. Shrub plan, shrub elevation. I always joke that's what my trees look like because I kill everything. Type 1 evergreen. Isn't that like a weird block for a tree? It's just not, I don't know. But it's cute here. Like you could just put some little garland and decorations on it. He's adorable. Type 2 deciduous. And deciduous elevation. It kind of reminds me of those Van Gogh trees on Starry Night. Um, Another evergreen. Another dead tree in Ashley's yard. Another one. He looks like a sunburst, doesn't he? And then, I don't know, there's another tree for you. So that's pretty exciting. Those are a bunch of different trees that you can use. Vehicles. This one's exciting. I think this is cool. Look at all these cool vehicles. So I used to ask students what kind of car that was, and I was really super impressed when people are like, oh, that's a Pontiac GPQ43. And I was totally impressed until somebody pointed out, like, I guess that's the Pontiac symbol. So that's how they knew it was a Pontiac. I think they just make up the rest of the numbers. But side view, top, it looks like the Batmobile, doesn't it? It needs side view mirrors. I don't know why it doesn't have side view mirrors. And from the front, it doesn't have a rear view mirror either. We just don't look around us when we drive these cars. It's the world's tiniest license plate. Although I think it should say, like, eat my dust. Because that's a fast car. That's what you would be doing. Sedan. That's my granny's car. So cute. I can tell you right now, that's a Plymouth. Because my granny drove a Plymouth. Sedan from the front. Look, you're missing like the little old lady hanging over, peeking over her steering wheel, but at least she's got a rear view mirror. Here in the rear view. This is what everybody sees. I always joke, this is what everybody sees when my granny's driving down the road. Because she's driving so slow. They're all stuck behind her. All right, truck from the side. Hello, O.J. Simpson. Am I right? Yeah? Anyone? Anyone? Truck from the top. This is what we saw that day with O.J. Simpson. Am I dating myself? Is that too far back? But the helicopters and the chase? Anyone? No? O.J. Simpson's truck from the front and from the rear. And I do have a question. And I mean, maybe I know I'm not really a mechanical car person, but how is it that we're seeing the rear suspension and yet we don't see it from the front? I feel like that is a pretty big error in their blocks. So anyway, this is a little introduction to dynamic blocks. You kind of get a feel for what dynamic blocks are. It's a block, but it's got special powers and special features that you can work with. So there is an exercise for creating a dynamic block, and I'll pull it up over here. I'm about to show you guys how to walk through this exercise. So creating a dynamic block, we're just going to walk through this step by step. So the first thing that it says to do is open the drawing named Dynamic Block Exercise from the Unit 2 folder. So I'm going to open, go to Documents, Unit 2, Dynamic Block Exercise. This right here is what we're going to end up doing. I've got a buzzer, and all I'm going to do is add a dynamic flip to it. So, but we're going to use this geometry right here. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we got to make it into a block. So we're going to insert, create a block. We're going to call it buzzer. We're going to pick a base point. It tells me what the base point is. It says right there. And then I'm going to select the objects. I'm just going to select all of this white stuff. Don't forget, there's 3 lines in an arc. See a little picture right here. One thing that you can do, because we're about to have to go in the block editor, you can check this little box down here and it'll automatically open in the block editor when I say OK. Look at that. How cool is that? So when you go into the block editor, I don't need this palette anymore, but right when you go into the block editor, you see this. It's the block authoring palette. And so for every dynamic block that you have, you've got a parameter and you've got an action that you associate to that with that parameter. So parameters are things like rotation and flip and all of this. If you ever forget a base point on a block or you need to move it, you can always come in here and put a new base point on. Actions are actions that are associated with that parameter. So if you did parameter sets, it kind of prompts you for both of them. let's see. So what we're going to do is we are going to come in here and we're going to do a flip parameter. So we're going to click on the word flip, specify the base point, and I'm going to do shift right click mid between 2 points. So I'm going to click here, click there, and that, notice how it kind of started. Do you see that little dashed line coming? That's basically my mirror line. We're doing a flip, and so this is the mirror line. I want to make sure the mirror line's perfectly straight, so I'm going to click on the end point here. So I started in the middle, click on the end. This right here doesn't matter. It's just where you put that note, so just click somewhere to have that little note. Notice I've got the little arrow, just like the arrows that we saw on the door before, except he's got an exclamation point. So what that exclamation mark is saying is, hey, you've got a parameter, but that parameter is not going to work until you give me an action. So we know it's not complete till we click over here to actions. And I just did a flip parameter, so logically I would do a flip action. And what the action is asking for, the parameter basically just defined the line around which this object's going to flip. The action says, hey, which parameter are you going to associate me with? So I'm going to associate with you with that one. Now I get to select which objects are going to be a part of that action. So just because we're in a block doesn't mean the whole block's going to move with it. What's cool about dynamic blocks is you can have one part of the block have a dynamic action without having the rest of it do that. We're not doing that in this case, but I selected all of the objects, press enter, and look, it's gone. My little exclamation mark is gone, so it's good. Close the block editor, save changes to buzzer, and now when I go to insert my block, I've got, oh no, not sample. I want to insert the real deal. Buzzer, that's mine. Click it, see that little grip? Flip, 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 flip. That's how you check yourself. So that's how you do that little exercise. This exercise relates exactly to what we're going to be doing in that op-amp schematic. You're actually going to do that flip action on a transistor within the project itself. So that's it. Dynamic blocks, my favorite thing to talk about. You just got my lecture, and